family. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for your likes, your comments, sharing. Your support is incredible. And if this is your first time, you are welcome. Absolutely. Now, in my previous video, I did share how I made my unpeeled fresh ginger juice, and I subsequently infused it with some cloves and grains of Selim known as Hwentia or Etso. Now I'm going to be sharing some teas using the ginger juice, and then later I'll be sharing some juices as well, mixing it with some more flavors. So, of course, Prekese, known as the Aidan fruit, not only is it great as a tea, but also it equally works as a seasoning, an all-natural seasoning that's been used for centuries in most West African dishes. Now here I've got a blended version, so it just makes life much easier, and a little does go a long way because it's intense. So typically on the morning, I just place my saucepan with some water, allow it to simmer for like 5 minutes, and then I rush downstairs, grab a teaspoonful of my blended Prekese. I add that to it and allow it to simmer just for about 4 minutes, take it off the heat, and then using my tea strainer, I just strain this beauty into a glass. Now the thing is, at this point, this is hot and warm and beautiful, and that's when I add my cold ginger juice, yes. And the reason why we're not boiling it, we're keeping all the nutrients intact. Absolutely. On some days, I choose to add lemon or lime juice as well to the tea, and I find that refreshing, and especially first thing in the morning, it's nice and warm, and you know what, it activates your bowel perfectly as well, and you know what, you feel energized after having this drink. Yeah, and some days I choose to use my teapot. So here, yet again, I'm adding some water and, just putting the strainer in. And here we've got the sorghum leaves tea. So sorghum leaves, which is known as the wache leaves, that's what gives the classic wache that amazing maroon color that wache is incredible for. Now, I have gone into detail about the health benefits of sorghum leaves as an independent video, and I'll leave a link in the description box. Yes, so you can actually get an in-depth information about it. But here I've managed to turn it into that powdery form. And yes, yet again, I just add 1 teaspoonful of that into my teapot, allow it to simmer just for about 3-4 minutes. Ideally, if I'm not that busy, I'll leave this to steep for another 2 to 3 minutes. And you will end up with a darker, rich, flavored tea. Now, here I've bottled my Prekese tea. Then I can also have some iced tea as well if I choose to. And here I'm just adding a splash of my ginger juice to my sorghum leaves tea. And I can enjoy this just the way it is, or yet again bottle it, refrigerate it, and it's always the key. And I'm always on the run, so juices like this, they do come in handy. So yes, I hope you do enjoy it whilst I replenish myself and crack on with the day. The next tea you can enjoy any time of the day is your hibiscus and ginger tea. So yet again, I place my saucepan on a medium heat, add my water as one does, and then ensuring that your hibiscus flowers are clean. Yes, mine is clean. I've done the wash and drying already of it, so that's perfect. And then I did find some of my sorghum leaves left, so I was like, you know what? No waste in the kitchen. You going into that pot. So yeah, quickly it goes. And I'm just going to simmer this for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then for that licoricey flavor, I do add some Star Anise, and it's just one, and then 2 grains of Selim, which is going to add that musky black peppercorn flavor to my tea. Absolutely. After straining my fresh ginger juice into my teacup, I then, of course, strain the hibiscus tea into the ginger juice. And this is absolutely delicious. Now, you can add honey if you need it sweeter, but I prefer to have my teas just the way they are, because I like that sourness of the hibiscus as well. And you've got that licoricey flavor coming through from the Star Anise and that musky black peppercorn that is coming from the grains of Selim. I'm good with that. But of course, you can add that sweetness to it. Now that we've done with the tea, now let's move on to juices. And now, if you watch my previous video where I covered how I make my pineapple juice, the pineapple juice comes in handy here. Now here I've got my ginger juice yet again in the bottle. And if you remember my pineapple concentrate, that's it. I'm just going to pour some into the bottle. So here I've just mixed the ginger and the pineapple juice, but I also have my homemade orange juice with bits. Now, if you'd like that recipe as well, leave a comment below and I will upload that as well. And I'll say this is my vitamin C bombshell of a drink. So, on the far left, I've got my Prekese tea, and then I've got the sorghum leaf tea, and now I've got my vitamin C juice. Now, the next one is my mixed citrus fruit juice, okay? Now, it depends on what kind of citrus fruits that I do have at home, but of course, one would buy what they like. On this occasion, I had some clementines, I also had some grapefruit, and some lemon. So yes, I went through the task of, squeezing the juice out of it. But then again, if you remember when you watched my pineapple tea recipe, yes, none of this I'm going to discard because, of course, I have cleaned all the skin. Yes, absolutely. But I have covered that in my orange juice recipe. So if you do want that, please do leave your comments below because I'd rather share something that you guys would like rather than what I would like, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I get all the juices out, as you can tell. And I love this because it's got the lemons and it's also got the grapefruit. And I like that sour taste. Yet again, if you're a sweet tooth person and you'd like to add some honey, you're more than welcome to do so. But this I usually make on a Saturday morning because, of course, I have got a bit of time then in the morning, or I wake up a little bit earlier to make time for this. Yes, it's a bit of like a ritual. Yeah. And here we have it. So I think there was a seed there and I'm just taking the seeds out as one would. So now that my mixed citrus fruit juice is ready, I'm now going to be using the plain ginger juice. So here I've got that in my container, and to that I'm just adding my mixed citrus fruit juice. I'm going to mix everything together until it's well combined. Now when I make this juice, yet again, I like to refrigerate it, yes. And because of the presence of the lemon as well, that helps preserve the juice for much longer as well, for another extra 2 days. So this would last me between 3 to 5 days. So for this one, I'll be adding some cinnamon and, of course, my cloves. So the flavor is just going to be incredible. Yes. And then I'm going to be pouring my ginger and mixed citrus fruit juice in there. And that will just infuse. It's best when you actually leave it for at least 24 hours so you can get the hints of cinnamon coming through when you enjoy this. Family, I hope you are inspired to try any of these recipes. And if you do, I would like to hear from you, your feedback and how it made you feel. If you've got any questions at all about the recipe as well, please do leave them in the comment sections below. Do not forget to hit the like button, share with your family and friends, invite them over. Absolutely. Because this is all natural flavors. There's nothing onto it. If it's not good for me to eat, I'm not going to make it for you to eat. And you will find all the tea blends on my website, buyndudu.com, where I only use all natural products. There is no additives, preservatives, and I omit salt from my spice blends because I give you that choice to make that decision. Naturally, you will find traditional African recipes on my blog, indudubyfafa.blogspot.com, so do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Indudubyfafa, so pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And until my next recipe with you kings and queens and beautiful people, take care of you, be nice, be beautiful, and guess what? I love you for you. Thank you very much for watching.